Hello, everybody. It's good to see you. We've just been chatting away, going to town, and having a good time. And you might be asking, who is the we? Well, let me show you who the we is. We've got a full house today with Ruby Claire, Wayne Glasper, and Todd Phipps. These guys are
Okay.
going to be in the background helping me out tonight and talking with you guys, answering questions, keeping me straight or trying to keep me straight. It's kind of tough sometimes. And so let me just jump right in. We got a lot to do today. So I'm going to jump right in and kind of show you what's going on. Start with this top view. I've got a piece of fogwood. I went outside my back door and I really and truly have no idea what this is. We might be able to tell when we get into it. You see some checks here. Um, like I said, I just went out there. I pulled the bark off, cut it down to length or a length. I have no idea how long that is. Um, it's 6 inches. It's dead on 6 inches, and I did not measure that by
Pure luck.
4 3/4. Yeah, it's just pure luck is exactly right. So anyway, that's what we got. This is what we're going to do. Um, that looks like a box, but it's not. This is all one piece. This is the top side. There's no holes there, but believe it or not, this is a salt shaker. Where's the salt come from? Underneath. Um, so basically what we have is this body, and then here where you see this ring around here, that is the bottom side of a cone that's been drilled through, and the salt is there. So when you want salt, you simply, let's see if I've got something dark here. I don't think, um, yeah, I do. Oh, there's always a piece of dark wood sitting around, isn't there? Well, almost always. So you want salt, you pick it up and you shake it vertically, and as you can see, there's plenty of
Oh,
salt.
that's clever.
Yeah, yeah. So Todd has seen a couple of these done recently, I know, or Ruby's done some herself. And so this is going to be my rendition. I've seen a couple people do them. Several people on YouTube have done them, and this is going to be my rendition. So what we're going to start off with is doing the body at first. We're going to make it smaller, put a tenon on this end, and then I'm going to do the body out of this end here, and then I'll make a jam chuck from this side over here that we can turn the body around on and finish the top. And then we'll take that jam chuck and we'll make that, it'll be a cone that's going to fit up into the body. You shake it vertically, salt comes down through the hole. So I think that might explain it well enough to get us started, and it'll all make better sense. And feel free to ask questions, and these guys will relay those questions on. So I'm going to get started while they begin to let me know who all is in the chat.
Sits here quietly.
Wayne, Ruby and I elected you.
Oh, okay.
That's how it worked, Wayne. You know that.
Yeah, that's funny how that happened, seeing as how Todd came in last. I've never heard that. But anyway, here we go. Obviously, we've got Ruby in the chat. We've got Jennifer in. Jennifer's Crafting Creations. We've got Rich Baldock in. Door 60, that's Andy. He's in. Ronald Todd from New Jersey. Roger Kent.
And Rob from Copper Owl.
Okay, I've gone right back to the beginning, Ruby, so I'm just scrolling down.
Okay.
Deal from Old Man River, Norman Greenwell, and there's the chat. Just
All
got to
right.
go
Welcome,
all the way
everybody.
back up to the top again. Michael McEwen's in. Michael. Zed's in. TLF Works is in.
That's Todd.
That's Todd, yeah. Thomas Kenny. Fred Gulliver. Lucy's in. Evening, Lucy. Healy's in as well. Evening, Healy. Todd at Glen Cove is in. Paul Huyton. Malcolm Douglas. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Chris Walters is in. Rob from Copperell. Raymond Wise. Michael is he's chilling and recovering from the trip to SWAT. Al's in. Evening, Al.
Hey, Al.
Jamie's in.
Jamie.
Hey, Jamie.
Mama Sneaks is in as well. Evening, Mama Sneaks. How's it going? I'm getting to the bottom. Haley is in that Gary Rans did one of those at a demo at her club. Roger Wallum is saying, is it me or has the video started? As he has nothing. Try refreshing the page, Roger, if you can hear what we're saying. Anthony Green's in. Alien Leader. I'm still going down.
Did you get Nigel Harvey?
I'll probably. Oh no, I can just see him there. Nigel's in. Vinnie Charlton's in. Andy is in. That's Lucy's other half. I'll not say better half because Lucy is obviously the better half.
You're living dangerously, Wayne.
Hey, come on! I was on Lucy's side there.
Not really, yeah. And Andy's
Daka
on the road all the
Timberworks is in.
time. So.
Paul Kavanagh's just come in. My God, come on, get down to the bottom. I need a rest.
You're doing great.
Frederick D is in. Frederick is actually getting ready for a couple of days training with Colin Way, and that's going to be his holiday this year. That's going to be a very enjoyable holiday.
I bet. That should be a great time. All right, this has got a section of punky wood, but I think we're going to go past it. It must speed up a little bit more.
See, Ruby, Lucy has said flattery will get me everywhere.
Oh, dear.
Jamie has said somebody on Lucy's Facebook thought Lucy and I hated each other the other day. They assumed right. They don't really. That was a joke, by the way.
Okay. I'm glad you clarified that. And Jamie also pointed out, Doug, that that's definitely not a piece of you.
No, it's not. It's not. Oh, we're almost through it. Thank goodness. Finally.
Not bad, Jennifer. Not bad at all.
And Zed has started. He heard that a Buddhist coroner got fired because he kept putting down the cause of death as birth.
He certainly doesn't get any better.
No. No. All right. That's still kind of, well, it's very punky right there. All that white is just, it's powder, basically.
No, it'll be easy to sand.
Yeah. And that's going to be.
Is that going to be part of the top?
Okay. Well, this will be the cone up here, which will make that go away. Which that's okay, I think. But I still got some cracks here I want to get past. Should be just a few more passes and we'll be there.
Frederick D says it looks like spalted beach. I'm not too sure if it is beach. Definitely spalted, but I'm not too sure if it is beach.
No. I've got about 3 options of what it could be. It could be pear, Bradford pear. It could be silver maple. Could be poplar. I don't think it is, but it could be poplar.
No, it doesn't quite look like it.
Okay.
No, it doesn't.
Heather's joined
Angry
us.
Woodturners come in. I'm certain I mentioned that earlier. Paul Kavanagh has said they found Shakespeare's pencil in an archaeological dig recently. There's some debate. They can't decide if it's 2B or not 2B.
That's a good one.
It's not bad.
Jim
It's not
Selby
bad.
has joined us.
Hey,
Evening,
Jim.
Jim, and evening, Heather, as well. That's something I didn't
saw-
do. I was going to dig out the video that I did on the water drop vase for Heather, but I totally forgot to do that. Apologies, Heather.
Okay. I'm sitting here looking at this, trying to decide what to do next, but this is what we're going to do next. I'm going to take this stab center
I'm
out.
sorry. I'm laughing there. Jimmy's just sent me a message, which I'm not going to repeat.
Probably safer that way.
Yeah, it was funny, though. I'm still
Okay.
not going to repeat it.
Well, I barely got that tenon small enough. That's okay. We'll leave it where it is. All right. A little off center, but that's going to be okay too. We'll straighten that up. I'm going to leave the spindle roughing gouge alone, and we're going to pick up the skew instead. Raise my tool rest.
A priest, a monk, and a rabbit got to the clinic to donate blood, and the rabbit says, "I think I must be type O." That's pretty clever, that one.
All right. That's smoothed right out pretty easily. Feels better too. Let's see what we got. I think we're in good shape to make some changes.
Yeah, those were nice shavings.
Yeah, this surface in the solid wood, if it's not white, it's pretty smooth right at this point, even that knot. All right, and I think we'll get below that still. I'm going to back this out so that I can take that live center out. Get my Jacobs chuck and put it in. I'm going to give that quill a blow with the compressed air. I've been having more and more pieces
Roger
of...
it seems Roger is having a real problem. He can't get the video. He's only getting a black screen.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, it's coming across clear here.
It's definitely coming across clear here. The only thing I can think of doing is the usual computer thing: switch off, switch on.
Yeah.
Right. This is for Heather. This is the video that I did for the water drop vase.
All right. There it is. I was about to say that wasn't coming through, but it did. All right, man, we're definitely off from where we were to begin with. That's okay. Let me just switch over here. You can see.
For people not familiar, the bit that Doug's using is called a spade bit, and it's what you should be using when you're drilling end grain, not a Forstner bit.
I use this one. That's one reason why. I'm going to slow my lathe down to 420 to drill it The other reason is I don't have a Forstner bit this big. Well, I've got them bigger, but my normal ones go up to 1 inch, and then after that, I don't have anything till I get up to 2 1/8, I think it is. 2 1/8 or 2 1/4.
And Pete's just come in. Pete from Twisted Trees.
Morning, Pete.
Hey, you Pete. But even with this spade bit, I take it slow and easy. I'm not rushing it at all. If I feel pressure, I stop for just a second, let the drill bit do its work.
Oh, Jimmy.
There must be some bad jokes coming in.
Yeah,
There are.
Jimmy just bought a nice 12-year-old Scotch. His parents won't be pleased.
And
Okay.
Zed says he's doing a premiere later today. He's turning a garlic cellar.
All right. I did see that earlier. I'd forgotten what it was you're doing.
You might want to adjust your mic, Doug. We're kind of getting a little feedback from it.
Lowered it down just a hair. Is that any better?
That's a lot better.
Okay.
And Pete said he uses wave edge Forstner bits. They are just confused enough to know if they are in, not to know if they are in end grain or cross grain. I've got to say, I use Forstner bits all the time on end grain.
The ones with the serrated edge or the smooth edge?
I tend to use the ones with the sawtooth.
Yeah, well, the sawtooth are the wave edge that Pete's referring to. And they work on end grain. The smooth ones don't as well.
And I always tend to what I do as well. I always tend to give them a sharpen, just with a diamond card before use, because they're very easy to sharpen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, Roger's finally got video.
All right, Roger. Glad you were able to make it.
Now,
give myself a mark so I know where the inside of my hole is here.
How deep did you drill?
Right at 2 inches. Probably deeper than I need to, but I'm going to do some cleaning and whatnot over here before I go on. Ooh.
Did you allow for the length of the point of the drill?
Yeah, it's on up a little further than my line, but I'm going to put a top on here. I wanted to know where that was for later down the road. So,
Ducker Timberworks has said he likes spade bits, and he usually grinds off the locating nub. They are easier to sharpen than Forstner bits too.
Yeah. This one, get it where I can show you. I haven't taken it off, but I've smoothed it over so that those threads do not grab. So I can go in, right up to these cutting teeth, and it doesn't do anything. Once I get to these cutting teeth, that's when it really starts to do its thing. So, first time I used one of those, I about jerked my arm off.
Right. Angry Woodturner is saying he was a bit late, but what is Doug doing today? So what are you doing today, Doug?
We're doing a upside down salt shaker. It has no holes in the top, one big hole in the bottom. So you shake it vertically to get your salt out. In fact, you could probably just see it.
Yep, saw that.
There it goes. I've got too much salt in it, so it likes to pour out right now. But it's okay.
And Todd at Glen Cove Works has said, Roger, this is going back for Roger Woolham. Without video, was it like when you used to turn on the radio before there was TV?
I can remember those days.
Just cleaning up the inside here.
It's actually like one of those famous commentator things when a lot of people still had black and white TVs and snooker was on the telly. And he basically did, I'll not get this perfect, but he basically turned around and said, for those of you that don't have colour TV, he's going for the brown that is behind the blue.
Oh, me. That's funny.
And Nigel has given me a thanks for putting that video up. No problem, Nigel.
You know, you mentioned, I think it was last week, Wayne, doing it on a vase.
Yes, that's the video that I've just put up.
Oh, okay.
Because Heather did ask about that, if I'd done a video on that, and I didn't go and look then, and I meant to look beforehand, but I just did a quick search tonight, and it was the second video that came up on the search. So
Okay. And the reason I said anything about it, that I was thinking about that earlier today. Thought that would be an awfully good demo to do. So I'm going to put that on my list.
it will be. You've got to have a Blue Peter thing, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I did that last time I did the bowl. And I told you I fixed that purple one. It didn't do exactly like we thought, but it worked. So anyway, what I've just done was cut just a little bit of a shoulder in here, and so that will it's going to make that hole bigger, of course, than what it was. But I'm going to measure it so that we can get our tenon back here just a little bit. And I know where my mark is. Switch cameras. Boy, that color. What has happened to the color on that camera? This is where the top of my hole is, but then this one is. The other one's not.
Yeah, the other one's been like that for quite a while.
That one's more green and faded out.
I've got
to come back and do some adjustments.
That one's been that greenish color for quite a while now.
Yeah, it was this one that was so bad. That one's okay now. I'll get it figured out one of these days and get it locked in so it doesn't move. Okay. Here's where we are. This is the top of my major hole. The end of that little end on my drill goes to about here. I'm going to come up about this far with the top that I want to turn. I'm going to shape this from here between these two lines. I'm going to shape that. In fact, I want to shape a little bit down here as well. But I want to get, I know I want to go in here to cut it. This will be a jam chuck and will end up being my cone as well. So that's where we are at this moment.
Okay, we've got quite a few comments been coming in. Zed has said that Wayne set up a bed sheet and a candle, and his audience watched the shadows. Frederick has said spade bits, because of their design, tend to wander as the stems are quite thin. I found it better to drill a small hole in the work first to accommodate the point.
Yeah.
Jamie has said that he just clicked on the link that I posted for the water drop vase. 6 years ago I did that video.
Pete said that he doesn't like this style of salt shaker because those who are not in the know look puzzled at it, turn it upside down, and then spread salt all over the table and the floor.
And Ruby, that's why you make these to give to other people.
Exactly.
Well, I've got a pair here that I use myself, and they need refinished, but they work quite well. I think you have to adjust the size of the hole until it works with whether you're using the salt or the pepper.
Yes.
And even
pepper definitely needs a larger.
The coarseness of the grind of that salt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And Zed is suggesting, Doug, that you should attempt a Pythagorean cup next.
I'll have to look that one up.
You don't remember your high school math?
Not that part.
The square on the two in a right angle triangle, the square on the two sides are equal to the square on the other side,
Yeah.
the opposite
Yeah.
side. That's the Pythagoras theory.
A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Yeah. Yeah. Pythagorean cup. Okay.
Zed
Right,
says
Zed is. Go on, Ruby.
it's a wine cup that teaches moderation. If you overfill the cup, it drains out the bottom.
Yeah. What's the point in using a cup like that? Just use the bottle and sub out the bottle. Saves washing up.
Did it again. I'm thinking about one thing and doing something else.
Now, I could make a comment that that's something women do regularly.
Could be. All right. I've got to finish that up after I turn it around anyway. So just felt the bad spot here. Here, a little mushroom shape. That'll work okay.
Well, that's a nice shape.
Let's use my little 1/4-inch Badan.
Frederick Deere said, the square of the high pot, the hypoto, the long side.
The hypotenuse? Oh, dear.
Just using my little thin parting tool that Ruby loves so much.
It was a real expensive one, wasn't it, Doug?
It was.
Absolutely. That was in a drawer that my dad had bought at an auction for bought the whole drawer and all its contents for like $5.
There you go.
Craziness. Absolute craziness.
2 cents kitchen knife for a
Probably.
pound.
All right. Now that we're there, let's put get a little bit of measurement here. Just notice that chipped out on the. Here we go. Got to figure out. Got a little bit of a chip out right there on the inside, but we'll take care of that with some CA glue. In the meantime, let's measure this outer.
Yeah, Todd, that is a good one. I'll let Ruby do that one.
Todd says that when Zed gets cold, he goes to the corner of the room. It's 90 degrees there. I like that one.
90 degrees there. Oh, me.
That must be why I live in a house with no square corners.
Yeah, I think mine's pretty similar, Ruby, tell you the truth. Okay, Agri Woodturner has got to head off to work. I can never remember his name. I'm terribly sorry. Roger's got to head off to work, and he'll catch the replay later.
All right, Roger, you have a good one. Hope they don't work you too hard today.
Todd, why don't you read this one?
Right. Go on, Todd. You read this one.
Which one was that? The
one from Zed.
Yeah, let's see. That's why I always carry an old car door when I go hiking. If it gets warm, I can roll down the windows. That one? No.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I like that.
Rumor,
That's one of them.
JP says
One of them
rumor has
real
it.
nonsense ones.
Zed bathes in WD-40.
Oh, God.
Todd, if you haven't figured it out, it gets a little silly around here sometimes.
It gets silly. I was sidetracked watching you for a second, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, let me scroll my chat.
All right, I'm just working this tenon down. I chamfered the front edge of it just a touch, and so I know I can go down at least that far because it's not even beginning to go on just yet. So we'll go there again, a little bit more chamfer. Okay, it's just going. It went on.
Ooh.
It went on nice too.
Looked like it had a pop.
Just a little bit, yeah. It may end up being.
No one more cut there then.
No, I'm gonna leave it just where it is. It's not tight enough to do the without any help. So I'm gonna grab some tape real quick. I say real quick. Here it is.
Mama Snake says it looks like an egg holder.
Salt shaker, Mama
Lucy,
Snake.
the voice I think you don't recognize belongs to Todd.
Right, Wayne's has the accent and I'm the monotone.
And I'm monotone without the accent. So
Depends on what accent you're talking about. Okay. And I know I put that tape on in the wrong direction. I know.
As long as
I'm
it's
sorry.
passing down, it'll be fine. You're not working anywhere near it.
I went to the Mike Waltz School of Masking Tape. Sorry, couldn't help myself. All right. I'll stick with. No, I'm not. I'm gonna get my 1-inch skew back. That little 1/2 inch is probably would do it, but all I want to do is clean up the nub. Actually, I'm not going to use that either.
Right, Todd, the name you've got down in the chat is TLF, isn't it?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Lucy is saying she's still none the wiser. Lucy, Todd is TLF. Is it TLF Woodturn or TLF Woodwork?
TLF works.
TLF works. He has been in over the past couple of months doing coming in and doing the chat.
I would say this is probably my 4th time in here.
Yeah, something like that.
And then sometimes when we were talking about this before the live started, sometimes when I pop out this chat window, YouTube puts me as Todd, and then everybody's not confused. And then sometimes it puts in my woodworking channel, TLF Works, and everybody is confused. So,
Including Todd.
including me, because I'm confused as to why I can click that button twice in a row and have it do different things.
And Heather's pointed out that we have a Canadian accent.
I don't have an accent.
I didn't think I had one. An alien leader says, "What do you call a bear with no teeth?" It's a gummy bear.
Oh no.
Yes, it is, Wayne.
we had a good time at SWAT, didn't we, Michael? It was fun there.
I'd have liked to have been there.
Yeah, and me.
It was.
Yeah, it would have been a good time.
It was. I don't know. I think I've made the last 8 or 9 of them or something now, and this year seemed to be just the best time.
Was it really? Good.
I had so much fun that I lost track of making my way through the vendor section and everything.
Oh my. Okay.
And just, seemed like there was always somebody there to talk to or share a story with, or
Right.
are sort of Google eye at, oh, I can't believe I'm sitting here talking to whoever.
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
It's
that's good.
definitely one of the ones that I want to go to. I don't think I ever will get there, but now Jamie has said that Wayne doesn't have an accent; he has an attitude.
That's true.
All right.
And Paul says he's reading a book on school truancy by Marcus Absent.
Oh,
I
mercy.
didn't like that joke when I was teaching school, Paul.
There's always
Paul Finley's just come in. Good evening, Paul.
hey, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
When JP gets SWAT team called, it's a whole different line of whole different time, but a whole lot of different things. It scrolled away on
Different
me.
meaning.
Different meeting. Yeah.
Right,
I
Decker
did.
Timber Works has got to go. Work is
All
getting
right.
crazy. You better get back to it.
All right, Ray. You have a good one. We'll see you later.
Yeah, Zed read the book Yellow Rivers by I.P. Freely.
IP freely. Yes. Little
Wasn't
spot
there
right here on
wasn't
the
there a
top
book
of
by
it.
that guy? What was it? At the bottom of the stairs by Seymour Butts.
There you go. or Under the Bleachers by Seymour Butts.
Oh, that might have been one it was.
Either one. Oh my! The second grade humor that comes out.
Oh, definitely. Right, I'm just dropping out for a minute or so. I will be back.
Alrighty. Okay.
And Ron is pointing out, oh no, there's a big hole in your holeless shaker, salt shaker.
A hole? Yeah, there is in the bottom. But I'm about to plug it. About to plug it.
Well, you need it to fill.
No. Not the big hole.
Shh, don't give it all away, Doug.
Yeah, you got to have a hole. We'll say it that way. Okay. Now, I
And
made
the
this jam chuck.
professor has joined us.
Hey, Professor. Made this jam chuck so it just fits the body here. So we know that fits. So basically, that part is done. Just basically. Get that out of my way. Bring the tool rest back up. We're gonna clean that off first of all. Give it some more speed.
I remember that one, Antlers in the Treetops by Who Goose the Moose.
Oh, mercy. Speaking of which, especially the folks here in the U.S. will remember Katrina. And that's been, holy cow, that's been, what, 12, 15 years ago? Forever. Been a long time ago. I went down with less than a year later and went a little further west. First time I went down, we were in Alabama. Wish I could remember the name of the town. It was the town that Bubba Gump was from in Forrest Gump. Not Bubba Gump. The Army guy.
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah, the town Lieutenant Dan was from. They're in southern Alabama. That was when I learned that southern Alabama was really called L.A., lower Alabama. And anyway, we went down there in September, right after Katrina, and then went back in November, and it was a totally different place. All right, there it is. Didn't put my chuck key where it belongs, and so I have to go hunt it. Anyway, we went in September, went back. I guess it was the end of October when we went back, because I came back on Halloween, and one of
That
the
must
things
be
we
scary.
saw, yeah, one of the things we saw on our second trip was I had heard that the hurricane had put shrimp boats up in the tops of trees. Second trip we saw shrimp boats in the tops of trees.
Wow.
Yeah, literally. And I heard from a family of one of those shrimp boat captains that was telling us they had checked it all out, they'd done all the work, and they found out there was no hope for bringing those boats out of those trees because shrimp boats are built to float on top of the water, not to pick up from underneath. And so, yeah, there was nothing they could do. Nothing they could do other than just let the boats.
Couldn't use some helicopters and lift them up?
Well, that was the problem. The way the boats are built, they can't support the weight of the boat from underneath.
Hmm.
It was a strange phenomenon. But yeah, what they were going to do was just let those boats either let them fall out of the trees naturally if they were in a place where it wouldn't hurt anything. If it could hurt something, they were going to cut the tree down in a controlled manner.
Do you want to maybe change cameras, Doug?
Yep, I was just thinking the same thing. Got to go to this green camera or blue. What? Well, there for a second it looked like it was better. Turn my
What
speed
size?
down.
What size is this bit, Doug?
I'm going down to a 1/8 bit.
Okay.
I
It seems
turn
like I heard some people saying maybe 3/32 or something too.
yeah, and I would probably do that, but I don't have a 3/32 bit for some reason. Probably broke it at one point. The walnut one that I did yesterday, I did it with 5/32, and I think it's just a touch big. I mean, it's okay, but I overfilled that thing and it's dumping salt. If I turn it sideways and turn it back upright, it just dumps salt. So it's a little big. This one's just an eighth smaller, but it'll be big enough that'll let people who want salt get some. I'm not a salt user, so I don't care what size it is personally. All right, what did I just do? I declare. Oh, I put it where it's supposed to be. Couldn't find my chuck key. Went in my pocket or on my shelf under my
Mark
monitor.
S has come in.
Hey, babes.
The boss said good night. She's had to call it an early night.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, that's Jennifer's Craft and Creations, who's calling it an early night.
Okay, so we have our base tenon that's going to go into the bottom of the body. Right now I'm going to turn the cone. I'll change cameras again. All right. So there's my tenon. The rest of this is going to be cone. That was something else. I measured that body a while ago, just the depth of the big hole, the 2-inch hole, or the inch and whatever it is, 5/8, inch and 1/8, inch and 3/8. That's what it is. I measured the depth of that hole. It was 2 inches. So I know that this it cannot be 2 inches. I got to have room at the top of it for the salt to go up and come down through the funnel that I'm going to make. So what I'm going to do is make this, let's go with an inch and a half. Inch and a half. That'll leave me a 1/2 inch at the top. Actually, let's go 5/8, inch and 5/8. So let's go ahead and measure that. Get over here to some good wood. Inch and 5/8. Give myself a mark all the way around.
It's going to be a pretty piece of wood when you get a finish on it.
Yes, yes. One of the things that we talked about a couple weeks ago was that this is one of those projects you can do it completely and then finish it later, because you don't do any finish on the inside. If you're putting in salt or pepper or whatever you're putting in it, it really doesn't matter because you're not finishing the inside. So you can do all your turning, assemble it, and then you're done. Then you can put your finish on. And if you're using a oil finish, you can, just wipe it on. Using a film finish, whatever you feel like doing. I'm going to go ahead before I start doing that.
If you do want to put a finish or a sealer on the inside, you could.
You could.
Hopefully that answered your question, Fred.
Jamie's just sent me another video.
Oh dear.
Yeah, this was from Maker Central. Probably 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. With me messing about in Valerie's crafty attic. I think that's her Insta name. Messing about in her wheelchair. Yes, I had a drink.
Wayne have a drink? Surely not.
Just that one night, Doug.
The one and only time in your life, huh? All right. Just going to redo my mark that I did with my parting tool. And I don't want to go too deep because I do have a hole running through there. It's not very big. It's 1/8 of an inch is all.
You could always flip it around and hold it in the tenon.
Possibly, yeah. In fact, that's what I had to do with my trial one. Yes, I did a trial. Unbelievably, I did one.
Yeah, I do that all the time. I always practice any lives that I do. Mate, the seeing that I haven't done the live for obviously quite a while, but I always practice.
And your middle name is Pinocchio.
Well, where do you think he gets all of his wood from, Doug?
I did just see a meme the other day. Pinocchio was strapped down to a table, and Geppetto was on his way to the fire with an armload of wood, saying, light some more, it's cold in here. Now, the reason this cone is getting so small is because, now if I can just find it, I gotta have it. There it is. You gotta have space in here for your salt. So that wood is almost too punky. Almost. Not quite, but almost. We'll save that. No, we won't save that. I was going to say we'll save that for other uses down the road. But you can see that is pretty punky right through that area. That's why it broke off. It goes deeper almost to the center. But that's okay. It's okay. We got ways to fix that. I can't do it with this chuck, though, unfortunately. I wish I could. Oh, I'm going to super glue that adapter into that chuck so that I don't have to worry about that anymore. Okay.
This is the value added part of the live here, where you get to show what you do to work with a small mistake. Not a mistake, even just
it's not even a mistake.
An additional challenge.
Yeah. Oh, here it is. We're going to.
It's how to fix things live.
Yeah. And we talked about this a few weeks ago, that as turners, because we work with a natural material, it's not perfect. Even when you think you got a perfect piece of wood, you can find a flaw in it without any problem.
But anyway, sometimes we have to fix those minor flaws, and this is just one of those. It's a little bit of 80 grit. Let's change over here. And we're running way too fast, but we're going to slow it down.
You okay with the length of that corner at the moment, Doug?
Yeah, the length was fine.
Okay.
I was gonna make it just a little bit more tapered, but we're okay. We're okay.
I was wondering the same thing, Wayne, because I couldn't tell where it broke free.
Yeah, this was my. Go ahead, Wayne.
Go on, Doug.
I was gonna say, there's my tendon or shoulder where I had used my parting tool to mark how tall I wanted, so it broke above that. So that's what I'm sanding off now.
Oh yeah.
Right. The other thing I was thinking is what I mentioned earlier on. You could actually flip that and hold it in the chuck to get that corner a little bit smaller.
Yes.
If you wanted to.
And that's what I was thinking.
Absolutely, I could, and that's what I did on my practice piece yesterday. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do that. I'll go ahead and sand this. It's sanded good enough. So I'm going to turn it around. So let's do that. Let's just do that. Open it up. And I think, will it work? Yes, it's going to work. Because let me. Can you see I've got a little bit of a ridge right here at the top of the tendon? So that's what I'll put against the face of my jaws.
Yep.
That ridge is there for a reason. I'll show you that here in just half a second. Okay, so now it's against the face of my jaws. Got my jaws tightened up.
And for people in the chat, if you have a look at how close those jaws are being tied together, that is the ideal size for a tendon when you're holding it in that sort of that sort of way.
Yeah.
Because that's holding that. That is holding that just about circular.
Yeah, you can see that's a very small. What is that? Not much. That is 30 seconds, thereabouts.
30 seconds.
Less than an eighth, between an eighth and a 16th.
Right, and okay.
That's probably extremely close to perfectly round.
Yeah,
and an eighth is close.
An eighth is 3 mil.
Yep.
One thing you should keep in mind when you're making one of these, I wouldn't use a wood such as yew, although it's a beautiful looking wood, because you want to avoid any woods that are toxic and can put their toxicity into the salt or pepper.
You're exactly right. Normally, if I'm not mistaken, yew needs something to draw the toxicity out, doesn't it, Wayne?
Well,
like alcohol or something like that.
Right. The thing is with you, it tends to be the seeds that are the worst part, which is why they were planted in graveyards. There's a guy over here in the UK, a professional wood turner, been on the go for years and years and years. A guy called Tobias Hay, and he has actually used a cereal bowl made out of yew from around for about the past 35 years. So it really all depends on how you feel about using woods. Yes, yew is toxic. If you're using salt with yew, the salt is going to draw out any sort of moisture or anything from the yew into the salt. So I think you've got to be careful there. Laburnum is another one. That can be pretty toxic as well. If you want to have a look at different toxicities, there's a good word, of wood, go on to the wood database, wooddatabase.com, I think it is. I'm sure Jimmy will put a link in if he's still here. Go into the wood database and you can actually have a look at the different toxicities of the different types of wood.
Hey, so Doug, when you got down there to the end and you were taking your gouge across that the tip of your cone, you didn't
Right.
go flat across, did you? You cupped it a little bit, right?
I cupped it, exactly. I didn't go straight. I cupped it out just a little so that when that salt comes up there, it has a place to fall into.
Yeah.
Right. And now I'm just going through my grits very quickly.
Now, Frederick has put an answer into something that Ruby has said. I was thinking that is spalting held to be harmful. I don't know though. Right, another good website to go and look at. It's if you have a look at Dr. Spalting. I'm sure it's shortened to DR Spalting, and this is a woman who has basically done a hell of a lot of research into the spalting process. She's got some. Yeah, she is. When you talk about experts, she is the expert on spalting woods. So if you got anything that you want to have a look at about spalting, look her up.
Yep, she has done more research than not only anybody, but any school has done on wood spalting. So if you want to know anything about it, okay, there's that tenon that was part of the jam chuck earlier. Go back to the top zoom so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, that tenon was part of our jam chuck, and it fits nice. It holds. In fact, here we go. I can hold it by the little funnel.
Nice one.
It moves, but remember, I've got that little lip on it. Right. Which camera am I on? There I am. There's that little bitty lip right on the side of the tenon. I'm putting that funnel down, and then I'm going to jam this on. I have to get a hammer and hammer it on. And even if it won't go on, if I made it the tenon just a little thick to go all the way in, I can sand that off. But there you go. That's it. I don't need to glue it because I got that little piece in there. It's wedged in there real nice and tight. I'm sure I've got that as far as it'll go. So I'll have to sand that off now because I cannot pull that back out. So, and I didn't bring any salt, but to put the salt in, you pour it in this part because I dished it out. Pour the salt in, you shake it just a little bit, it all drops in. And then when you turn it upside right, it just sits there, and you have to shake it vertically so that salt gets up and catches that top cone and then drops out through that hole. So it ends up being like, for those of you who came in late, looks like that one. And there's the salt. You can see plenty of it there. Okay, does that make sense?
I think your hole on that one's a little big.
Yeah.
The hole on this one is big,
on that one.
And the top of that funnel is pretty deep, so it catches a lot of salt. And I overfilled it. I poured it in. I would pour it in there, shake it, pour it in, shake it. I did that for quite a while, and I should not have done that. It was full right up to the top of that cone.
Now, how are you going to finish that, Doug?
I will finish this one. Probably we'll put some walnut oil on it. I'll sand the bottom of it real good, get it flush with the bottom edge of the body. The cone part is just a little proud. So I'll sand that down, and then I'll put walnut oil on it, top and bottom. Like I said, that funnel will not come out of there now. No need to. If it's a little loose, a little bit of CA glue will solve that. Or wood glue. Wood glue works fine. My wood glue I used it up. I didn't realize I was out. So I'm out of wood glue at the moment, but I'll get some more.
Right, now Lucy asked a question and saying, is there a web page or on YouTube? I don't know if she was asking about Dr. Spalting, but I have put the link in there for Dr. Spalding.
Okay.
If you're looking, Lucy, if you're looking for the wood database, just put in the wood database.
Yeah.
And it'll bring it up.
Yeah, Wood Database is a wealth of information. That's been going for many, many years, and it's the owner of that site is still active on there, still putting more information in. Used to be, I understand, that he would identify wood for you. It just grew to the point where he can't do that any longer. Plus, he's getting some years on him and just wanted to slow down, so he cannot identify your wood for you. But if you've got anything to give you any information about the piece of wood, it will lead you then to find out specifically what you got. For instance, I've moved all that stuff now. I was given a board of really dark wood, almost black. Knew it was not ebony though. It's got too much grain for ebony. I got several suggestions. It didn't take me long that I could zero it in on Wood Database. Zeroed in, it's Kingwood, and I'm so tickled that I've got it. So
that's a Brazilian wood.
Yes, it's very dark, very heavy, very dense.
It looks very much. I think it's a bit pinker than Cocobolo.
Yes.
Okay.
Because Kingwood is one of the rosewoods, and Cocobolo is one of the rosewoods.
Yes.
But Cocobolo tends to be the darker colours tend to be a bit darker than Kingwood. It still has the white going through there, or the lighter colours going through there, but they are both from the rosewood family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's interesting, and Kingwood cannot be exported anymore. I found out it's on that list.
Yeah, it's on the sites list.
Right. So
that's a shame.
It really is. It's such a beautiful list, or beautiful wood. A lot of woods. You can find out those woods that are on the sites list there. It'll tell you right quick if it is or not. But that's me today. Salt shaker, spalted something. I'm almost thinking, except for where it was in the pile and the size of it, other than that, I would think it was pear, but I don't think it's pear. Something else. It very well could be silver maple. I've got a silver maple in the backyard, and it was of the size. It could have very easily been a chunk that fell out of that tree. So, but
Doug,
anyway,
were you saying something about sanding off the bottom of that flush?
Yes.
Because man, I tell you, I look at it and I think that ends up being a nice little foot on there.
It does,
and gives a little shadow line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It still needs to be sanded. It is because of the punkiness of the wood. I had not sanded that before it came off, and so there it is. There you can see it. It's going to have to be sanded. May not sand it all the way off, but I'll sand 30% of it anyway, just to get it smooth. And I'll go through all the grits. You know, I'll start at 80 and work all the way to 240. And then I'll oil the whole thing. This will soak up oil like nobody's business. It's just that soft. So anyway, there it is. There it is. Any other questions?
One thing you could do with that walnut one that is letting out a little too much salt. You could empty it of salt and put pepper in it, because pepper usually takes a bigger hole.
Right. Right.
And then you've got dark for pepper and light for salt.
Right.
I wonder if I might have thought of that.
Right?
Does this look familiar, Doug?
I'm sorry?
Does this look familiar?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was a thought I had as I was turning. I thought that would be the good salt to make the other one the pepper. So yeah, I'll just sit. They have to sit there for 30 minutes and get all the salt out of it. I don't know. As big as that hole is, it may not take that long. But it is. Go ahead.
Just start it as a hybrid and have salt and pepper in it.
That's a thought. usually if you use salt, you use pepper too. My grandfather used a ton of pepper. He hardly ever touched salt. I don't touch salt. My wife will say, this food needs salted. Green beans. She'll make a pot of green beans and they'll be great. And she'll say, that has no taste. It needs salt in it. I'm thinking, no, it doesn't need salt in it.
Yeah, let her put her own salt on it.
Well, she does. She does. She goes and gets the individual shaker and puts a little on her own. And I quit using salt in about third grade. That's been a day or two. Oh me. All right. Don't forget to go in and look at Zed's video tonight. He'll be on here in about an hour and 55 minutes. Rich, as you saw, I used the first onion prototype or Orion prototype. Okay, yeah. Used the Hornig jaws today. These aren't them, but on that other chuck, that's what I was using for most of this term was the Hornig jaws. Great jaws. Like my dome jaws too. They're a lot of fun when I use those. And those give me that little tiny spigot on there that I can have a little tiny recess in something and still put it on. And also grab
folks,
small
don't
stuff.
forget to hit the thumbs up button.
Yeah, if you do that again. What was 19 years ago, Pete? When I was in third grade?
I think that was him stopping using salt.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That would help tremendously. YouTube's been doing some funny stuff again with the subscribers. I had 1167 or something the other day. Next thing I did, next time I checked, it's 160. I thought, that's nuts. Yeah. If people don't come on quick enough, they'll drop them. They'll drop your oldest ones. I've been through that 3 or 4 times now. So if double check, make sure you're subscribed. If you're not getting notifications, that may be why. You may have gotten dropped by YouTube. And so I didn't drop you, I promise. I haven't dropped any of my subscribers. So appreciate all of you who are subscribed and those you guys who come along every week. We have a lot of fun. And so anyway, thanks. Thank you all for being here. Ruby, thank you for coming along. I do appreciate it. Wayne, I'm glad you didn't get flooded out and that you're here with us tonight. And Todd, again, thank you, sir, for coming along. It's always a good time. So with that, let's say good night, everybody.
Night.
Good night, everybody.
Night. Catch you all later.